Bat Force Radio.
Bat Force Radio is rated M for mature, or should that be immature?
Hey guys, Dustin Wynn.
Hey, this is Scott Snyder.
This is Paul Dini.
And you're listening to Bat Force Radio.
And you're listening to Bat Force Radio.
You're listening to Bat Force Radio.
This is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and you're listening to Bat Force Radio, so stay tuned.
Post-con blues, post-con blues, post-con blues, post-con blues. That's all I'm going through. And
the depression episode.
Well, I'm gonna start off sad. Hopefully, we ended up on a good note. But yeah, there's nothing better than experiencing a con and hanging out with these two fellow men over here. We're gonna cover what we went through at MegaCon just about 2 weeks ago. Again, it takes some time to recover and find a good time to do this. But wow, there's a lot we're gonna have to cover and talk about. It's gonna be different experiences. We might complain about certain things. We're gonna talk about a lot of Uber rides and just figure things out, because that's what we do. We were a group of guys that went to MegaCon, figured it out, crushed, and here we are. So, guys, welcome Mike the Six Slayer.
What's up, gentlemen?
And then, of course, the homie, the one and only Sammy Warmhands.
Howdy.
So it's been 2 weeks. How you guys feeling after the show right now?
Tired.
Man,
well, Mike went to another one afterwards.
I went to Planet, yeah. So I'm done, dude.
Yeah. Two cons, back-to-back cons is not easy. I did DC then MegaCon. I finally feel like on myself. Like I think it was like Wednesday. Well, yesterday was Wednesday. So yesterday,
so you did a con before Mega.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm never doing 2 cons in a row again.
Yeah, I said that all the time.
But we did 4 days in Orlando.
Yeah.
You did 2. So at least it's like a little balanced, but then you add the travel to it and it sucks.
Yeah. So guys, MegaCon just happened 2 weeks ago. Amazing time. I don't know. Let's talk about, first off, the most important thing is, because my favorite thing to discuss is trying to get people to these shows, right? Obviously, we figure things out by budgeting, planning things ahead, and doing the things we had to do. So the first thing we always have to worry about is like, how do you book your flights? I book my flight crazy early, or what I tend to do is, if I don't have the money yet, I book my one way there, and then I figure it out later on my one way back. Just to like at least be like, I'm going, and that's it. I have to buy one way back now.
Like I live there. Worst case scenario.
Yeah, I'll stay there at the Airbnb a little longer. So I booked my trip about my one way there about 8 months.
Wow.
Out, and it was like $100 one way, and I was like, all right, I could justify spending that. And then like 2 months after that, I got my trip back, and it ended up being like $138. So it was like $238 round trip.
Nice.
Yeah, that kind of worked out.
See, I got my tickets to the show for Christmas. And up until that point, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull this off a 3rd year in a row. And my wife got me those tickets for Christmas. And I was like, all right, fuck it, we're going. And so
awesome.
I got my flight, which from Oregon, honestly, not too bad given the distance and all, but it was a $400 thing. And I had to drive 2 hours to the Portland airport to do it. So it was like a 12-hour day getting there and like a 14-hour day getting back. So it was a lot, but
yeah,
worth it.
How about you, Mike?
Okay, so I remember last time we were talking about flights, and I was trying to figure out why my flights were so expensive. Because I don't fly a lot, but I've been flying a lot actually since that last show. And I found out that where I'm at, and that's in Memphis, like this is the one, like usually there's only one flight going anywhere. And so that's why. So it's like it's people drive hours to go to this one airport.
So it's high demand.
Or I drive 4 hours to Nashville for a cheaper price, doing what you just did, Sam. So I'm like, okay, well, so I'm actually paying for convenience, right. So I'm gonna do, because literally, like people that I talk to, they're driving hours away from that airport, and I'm literally just driving like 15, 20 minutes. So I'm actually lucky to be that close to the airport.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was all together. This time it was still $400. It was
Okay, that's not bad.
It wasn't that bad. So that wasn't that bad. That was actually the cheapest time. It was cheaper than my OAX one, but I think because I booked these flights before OAX, and so I think that might be why they're a little bit cheaper. It was about $100-something cheaper than OAX. So I was just in Orlando like a couple weeks prior to Mega.
But like it is a lot of money, and it's a lot of money to me. But what's worth mentioning is, like, I remember flying to New York for the first time 20 years ago, 2006, and it was 500 something.
Yeah.
So like I'm going basically the same distance now for less money, not to mention inflation, like 20 years later. Like, it's not terrible. It hasn't gotten worse, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's still affordable unless you go last minute. And
Hotels are worse, but
yeah, the hotels definitely got worse. So we'll get to that real quick. The only problem is if you book last minute, that's when you're getting hit with a lot of like pricing, because last minute, the high demands of the last couple of seats or whatnot, it gets really expensive. That's why I buy my tickets months in advance. But from the sound of it, we didn't spend much on transportation, which is great, right? Especially at those prices. Typically, a lot of people, especially for MegaCon, because they have so many hotels so close. You have the Rosen, was it Plaza, the Rosen Center?
Yeah.
You have the Hyatt. You have the Hilton. These massive hotels. A lot of people stay close to those and book there because it's really short distance to the convention center.
Well, they have like sky bridges connecting some of them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
When we got picked up at the Hyatt, I was like, "Fuck, I got to figure out how to get in there next time."
I need to make Hyatt money, bro. I got to figure that shit out too. Like,
I know, man.
It's nice. But one thing I've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years of going to MegaCon. Well, 4 years of MegaCon, 5 years I got the hotel, and that's when I was like, wait a minute, we could do this more affordable. And I started getting the Airbnbs. The Airbnb is what, like a mile and a half, I guess, walk.
Yeah.
If you don't take the tunnels.
It was about 35 minutes for me. I did it most days. And it was fine. It saved me money. It sucked a little bit, but it was fine.
Yeah, it's tough because like the hotels really do a good job of overpricing or price gouging when there's a major event. Airbnbs are still kind of neutral some places. So MegaCon, pretty standard. You could get a 3-bedroom if you get it early enough, like around 1,400 to like 21. And then if you wait last minute, of course, those go up. But that was a huge cost, being able to split with the three of us and our buddy Jared.
That was
Jared. Clutch. Jared was like, called his mom and oh man, like, yo, this guy just helped me out, made everything so affordable. I was like, wait, you just met him like 2 cons ago? and I was like, yeah, cool. So like the 2 major things you had to worry about, ended up falling at least somewhere between the 5 to like 800 range. The transportation and stay there, which is a night at a hotel, I guess, to travel and get there. So now the major expense, right? Well, besides figuring out tickets, for us, we could figure out tickets because they do a good job with their media. And I think we know enough people we can figure out getting a ticket to this event. But typically, what's the ticket for a 4-day? It's I believe it was like $200 or something.
Yeah, I think it's like 175, something like that.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. So like a 4-day pass, which is amazing for a con this size. Typically, any other cons like New York or San Diego, you're looking at anywhere between 65 to 85 a day if you're lucky. That's after taxes. If you're buying retail, if you're buying aftermarket, good luck, especially on a Saturday. You're probably spending $200 for a ticket. So to get a 4-day badge for less than $200 for an event this size, and we're going to discuss how big it is and how many artists we saw and walking that floor, it's so worth it. this to have overall this trip, because if you can't make it to San Diego, which is insane, San Diego is the worst. If you can't make it to New York, which is also pretty costly, MegaCon is definitely right there, and I think this is definitely an affordable trip if you want it to happen.
Yeah, this has been my all-in trip the last 3 years, and I will continue to say no regrets. Like, this is, for me, because I haven't been to those two, this is the pinnacle for me. I really can't imagine a better experience in terms of, like, all my friends from different states are there. All of the artists that I want to see are there. They even have a couple of celebrities that I want to see that are there. Like, they go all in on their guest list in a way that I can't access in the Northwest.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if you live in LA or New York, it's a little more attainable, but for me, it's worth it to fly 2,000 miles to the opposite corner of the country, just for the sheer amount of people, both friends and professionals, that are there. You know, there's no other time I get to see all these different people at once.
Yeah, the show's massive. And again, if you go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll have to say, yeah, you'll see different variations of the combination of the talent there, but every show has its own thing. And I would say what you mentioned, Sam, about like all of our friends from all different states. For me, MegaCon, we go Dave too. We go to all these different shows, right? MegaCon's the only show like that for me. It's the only show where it's like, oh snap, I have friends, legitimate friends, where we can talk and chill, have dinner with after the show. You know, it's not like that for every show. You know, the talent and all of that, all of the, the recipe of a quality show. Yeah, they have those at other places. But for me, what I have at Mega, I didn't have that experience in New York. I didn't have that experience in San Diego, and I was just in Planet. And Planet is an awesome show. It's just different quality, and so I look forward to Mega. And what's funny about it, because I might be changing the temperature a little bit, Mega, it's the friendship part of it. It's what I like about it the most. The actual convention part, yes, the actual people and all that there, but it just feels very sleazy and very, like Oscar, like it's usually like a den of thieves. I feel like I'm in a den of thieves, like, you know what I mean? Welcome
to Florida.
Everybody's hustling, like everybody got, everybody's on some other mission, and so that part, it's cool, it's like, because I'm one of them, and we're, I'm calling myself out too. But when you're there, you're like, damn, man, like this is where we are, right? Like you're like at Coruscant for all of the flippers and all of the whatnot.
Check out my variant. Check out my variant.
The variant cover guys, all of the facilitators, every facilitator you can think of is there. Every whatnot guy. And then it's crazy, man. Like and so when you go to MegaCon, it's like, oh man, okay. You look at it from a business standpoint when I'm there, but I'm there with a bunch of my friends. So it's like at the end of the day, once I'm done, I'm with my friends. So it's cool. Whereas when I go to another show, let's say like when I went to Baltimore, it was way different because it's not as it's not as money grubbing. It's like some of the people are there, but they're there, but it's not the amount of people, like the sheer number of people that are hustling at MegaCon. It's crazy. Like it's crazy. Like there's a higher number of collectors in those lines at other shows, whereas in MegaCon, it's a higher number of retailers and merchants.
Yeah,
I feel like usually when I go to shows, it's a solitary mission, right? And just the way that I'm pretty good at being laser focused on my mission, right? And we've talked before about how you prep for a con and blah 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 blah, and like we show up with our bags prepped and our comics in order, and we're ready. We know who's going to be where, and we're on a mission, right? And so it's really easy for me to, especially when I'm operating alone, to zigzag through the chaos and like do my thing. But you're right. What's unique about this show is that it's like every time you turn a corner, it's like, oh shit, hey, how the fuck you been? And those kind of like interruptions, honestly, to borrow a phrase from you, kind of lower the temperature a little bit, because everything is so like go. Okay, I gotta get this at 2:00. I gotta get in this line by 3:00. I got it, all those things that you've got lined up. But it does allow you to kind of take a breath, even if it's at the end of the day when we go out for a slice and decompress or whatever that is, that it's not just a podcast a week later or whatever. It's like, oh no, there's a communal aspect of this show that I don't usually get when I'm on that solo mission somewhere else. So I know some people get overwhelmed by the sheer volume and size of this show, but I'm pretty good at, like I said, just blocking, like I'm just gonna, I don't care, I'm on my mission, and so I'm pretty good at that. But it is kind of a pleasant surprise when you be standing in line, somebody tap you on the shoulder and you're like, oh, son of a bitch, like, it's different. It feels more like kind of a hangout, like we're all on the same mission.
Yeah, MegaCon pretty much when I first started, it wasn't that, right? It was just me and Cole, and then we met Liz, I guess, and a couple other cosplayers. It wasn't that at all. It was like I was just meeting people, and then where's that now? Where it's like because of the community and the people that we know and the people we're friends with and that we interact with. That's more of what has become to me. But back to you guys were saying, everyone goes in there with their mission, and you just see it. It's just like, all right, cool. Yo, it's great seeing you, but I got to go over there real quick. Yo, DM me or whatever. And it's like, I bet maybe I'll see you later. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'll see you next MegaCon. But that small interaction is like, oh crap, there's a friendly face that is worth me saying what's up to for and stop my mission at the moment.
And let me add to that, because there's something about that environment that made me feel like the spirit of it kind of in a different way. And so, I always I'll kind of put it out there like, hey, I'm heading to whatever show, if any friends are looking for, help me out. And you kind of got me on that path a few years ago, because we would do favors for each other at different cons, different sides of the country.
Yeah.
But at this one in particular, I don't know what it was, but I was doing more pickups for friends than usual. And I was stoked to do it, because I know it's a huge opportunity for me to be able to go there. And I know that it's the way I feel when I see people do in New York or San Diego or whatever, and if they were to just offer, like my dude Alex, he's got this page Amps Collectibles, and he was posting about the new Daredevil hardcover from Charles Soule, and I was like, oh, I literally was just talking to him today. You want me to get one signed for you? And it's just that simple. And he was like, what, for real? I'm like, yeah, dude.
And it's like, why not?
Went over there the next day, and snagged it for him. And then I'm doing that, and Batman statue collector Chris hits me up and, hey man, I got this for Mayho. I wasn't able to come down there,
Oh, like, that piece.
Yeah, dude, I got you, And then wound up snagging that for him, and just a few little things like that. And it's, if I'm spread out over 4 days, I've got time. I've got time. I don't mind doing those little things. And I've already seen, like, I just saw Alex posted or reposted some other friend of his, hey, thanks for the fucking Daredevil book or whatever. I'm like, oh, you gave him your old one? He's like, yep, paying it forward. I'm like, see, that's awesome. And so I don't know, something about just hanging with everybody made me feel like oh yeah, I want to keep hyping everybody up, because like Mike could give me something to take to my line that I'm going to for Snyder or whatever. Dave gave me something to take to my line in Jim Lee. We're always helping each other out at the show. But I don't know, just the spirit of community was inspiring me at this particular one, where unprovoked, some of them I'm reaching out like, hey, what about you? You want some? Like,
Yeah,
or like I just post, like, I got these extra books. I'm at the Jim Lee signing. Anybody want one of these? Dude texted me. I didn't even know him on Instagram. He goes, hey, do you still have that Superman 204? I'm like, yeah. He goes, I'm in line behind you.
oh wow, that's awesome.
I run back there. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? It's, I think his name is The Furnace Collects. And, you know, it just, I literally don't mind. I'm already fucking there, you know?
Yeah, it's again, it's just the sense of community that really helps. But the goals that we had, right? We all come in with different goals. Let's talk about our goals, and let's talk about some experiences with those goals. Me personally, it's tough when I work most of the cons. I was very fortunate to work with Sean Gordon Murphy at this one. I don't hit the floor much when I'm working with him because I want to make sure that, you know, we stay in good standings. I get some flexibility, but I don't take advantage of it. We do have a locker room in the back. We had a little locker section where we hid our stuff, which is always nice. Where, you know, any of my friends need to hide and put anything away, I'm like, hey guys, you know, give me a backpack. You know, we could put things over here or whatnot. But for my goals, I had a very, very few amount of books I wanted to get signed. Nothing crazy. Like I normally have like 120, 150 books I want to get signed. Maybe chase 2 or 3 sketches. None of that really happened this year. I was just very excited. And again, we could talk about this a million ways to whatever. I was just really excited to see all my friends and seeing the community of, you know, the people that I vendor with at other shows, friends that, you know, we podcast together, friends that we just know from what the community has been for me the last 12 years. I see so many people there. And it's
you're
like,
doing after events too. Like I felt like you didn't have a lot on the agenda other than like the social side of it, because you're not only working all day, but then when you can break off afterward, you're going to Universal or you're going to the Rosen, or you're doing those extra things where I'm like, I'm fucking tired. I've been standing in lines all day. You know, I want to eat and fucking chill, you know, and so different gears, you know. But
I'm a little bit of a nut job like that, just because like the energy's still there for me to hang. Because even when you think about it, and you know, we're gonna talk about it, obviously, or we're gonna talk about it right now. When I got back to the Airbnb, and it's like 1:30 in the morning, and I'm like, yeah, I'm tired as hell. I'm like, crap, it's almost 3. Damn it, I gotta go to bed. Unlike the first night where I got there, and I was like, I gotta wait for Sammy. Passed out with my phone in my hand. You know, when I'm alone, I'll pass out. But when I'm with people, I'm like, oh no, we're gonna, one of us, you know, we're gonna keep on doing this until the last person is standing. And
you were talking about goals going into it. My goal is always to try to fall asleep before whoever I'm rooming with. So I'll go in there like an hour first. But I'm the one who's already wired latest, and I got the biggest time zone difference.
Right.
I'll go to bed an hour before Mike comes in, and you guys are still out there, you know, yelling about something. I don't know.
We're watching basketball.
Exactly. And I'm like, okay, all right. I'm gonna fucking put on my little white noise and go to sleep, you know, get everything in order. And sure enough, I'll be there for an hour and a half. And I hear Mike come in 30 seconds. This dude is snoring, and I'm like, God damn it, he beat me anyway.
Yep. Well, I'll say this, man. This trip was always come in. Like you said, everybody has a different mission, right? And so I always go into each show setting a difficulty setting. So I'm coming in like my first year New York last year, New York Comic Con. I set it at basic. I didn't do anything out of order, meaning I did everything by the book. Wake up early, get in line early, try to be the first in line. You try to be the first in the rat race because I don't know anybody. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know any. So when you don't know nothing, you have to do everything by the book, right? And so with MegaCon, this one, because I was familiar with it, I was coming in. This was the highest degree of difficulty I've ever had. Why? Because I was helping out a friend. Talk about pickups. I was helping out a friend get book signed who wasn't there, and I didn't have his books. So all I knew was
You're a
that
magician.
yeah. So I have to meet his friend at where his friend was working, right? And I would pick his books up, right? And so I didn't know how many books was there. I didn't know what artist he wanted, nothing, right? So the day of, I get there. This is Friday. You got there Thursday. I got there Friday. I get there the day of. There's 2 short boxes of books. Nothing is organized like it's
yes. Oh crap! That's
no dividers. I don't know this artist, that artist, and add an insult to injury. You know where this guy's booth was at? Clayton Crane's booth. So I was picking up comics at Clayton Crane's booth, which is one of the most insane booths of all of MegaCon as far as the comic book creators. And so I would have to go pick up a chunk of books. So I had a wheelie suitcase that was full of my books, and then I had a little carry-on book, a suitcase with my infamous Cheez-It box in it. Yes. And so that's where I had that was the drop box, and I would go there and then so every so often I would have to go do my signings and then come back and then meet this guy. Mind you, he's working and he's facilitating and grabbing people and stuff. So I have to wait till he gets back, grab books, stuff. And so lo and behold, put it this way, if this dude had his books organized, I probably would have gotten 95% of his book signed, but I ended up getting like half. And that's all only because we didn't have time to be going through all of his books like that. We just have to grab what we can grab. You know what I mean? We're at Clayton Crane's booth, we're zigzagging back and forth. So the raw numbers after MegaCon, because I had to count his books before I left, right? To let him know, like, hey, because I didn't know this, he had me getting books signed. He had another guy grab his books from Mississippi and meet the guy at the Clayton Crane booth. So it was like Ocean's 11 to get this fool's book signed, right? And so I ended up getting 2.5 short boxes done solo.
That's too much work for a friend. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I don't think you're good. You're a better friend than I am because I am not. We were doing all that extra work. I remember you were organizing a bit, and I'm like, damn, bro, that's too much.
That's too much. Well, okay, truth be told, though, that's my partner in crime. He hooks me up with my books. So all my books, all my keys,
my bad.
Number one, anything that I want. I had an ultimate Fallout 4. So, stuff like that, so he hooks me up whatever I want. So it was a fair trade, my labor for his books. So it was organized. Fair trade. But if he just had those dividers, because he knows about artists, and you too, Dave, because you're all over the place. Like, you guys know these variant cover artists and stuff, like talk about Nathan Zerdy. Like, I didn't know who Nathan Zerdy was until you mentioned his name. Now everybody talks about Nathan Zerdy. And then there's this dude named Keong Eom, some guy from Korea.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, this dude, ever since MegaCon, he's been blowing up. And so he was actually at Clayton Crane's booth, and so I had to get I think 40 Eom cigs, and they were like $20 a pop. Yeah, I'm telling you, I was getting cigs. I've never done this before. Like I said, two and a half short boxes. And I was saying no,
homie.
Yeah, and it was like zigzagging back and forth. And so that was the highest degree of difficulty. But yeah, I would say mission accomplished. I got, as far as my books, I would say I had 1.5 short boxes myself that were just mine. And I didn't know where Joe Kelly was, and I didn't know where Charles Soule was. And so those were the two people that I didn't I didn't really make,
Tell
but
me.
everybody else.
Oh, you didn't get Charles? Dude, I saw him
Yeah,
like
I
4
didn't
times.
find him.
Man, he was over next to Balam in comic sketch art.
You crushed. You crushed if you only missed 2 artists.
Yeah, I only missed 2 on mine. I only missed 2, and then I gotta say, you helped out with the Frank Miller and the homie Sean hooked up the Jim Lee, and then Sam, you hooked up the extra Scott Snyder here, because I got a bunch of these. Oh, what's that? The Jim Lee joint?
Yeah, Sam also hooked me up with a Jim Lee.
It's because how can you resist?
It's his first Michael Jordan. It's his Michael Jordan card that he did.
Where can you see what I just shared?
Not yet.
Oh, I don't know why it's not working. Damn. I was gonna drop the Dave sleeping photo. And it's not.
It's all right, guys. If you want to see it, it's definitely on my story on Instagram.
Damn.
Because I reposted it and I was like, I was just a few minutes away. I just couldn't stay up watching Jurassic World full blast.
Yeah, dude, that was blaring. And it would go from dead silence to a jump scare, and you were just out.
My body collapsed. That's traveling day.
I tried. I tried my screen share. It didn't work. Oh well.
But yeah, like the big thing is like helping people out. Like, man, like, you know, the amount of things you guys helped me out with because I was working was great. But throughout my breaks, I jumped around. I went to Lee Bermejo the first time and he wasn't there after Thursday. So then I ended up going back to Lee on Friday. Yeah, Saturday, and he was there. But he wasn't there. He wasn't there the first time I went, right when Sean left for the day, because he went to dinner with Sean. And I'm like, damn it. I went to get the damn signature. I
was very lucky with Bermejo because I got to talk to him, I think 2 or 3 different times, none of which by waiting in his line. It was just literally by walking around.
Nice.
And then it'd be like, oh, hey, what's up? You know, and chat for a minute, take a picture or whatever. And even when I went to do the pickup for him, there was a big ass line forming about 20 to 30 minutes before his signing time. And I was walking out of the green room as he was walking into it. And he was like, oh, hey, I got that. I got that piece. I'm like, yeah, sweet. Let's do it. So that was very fortunate because, you know, the fewer of those crazy lines you can wait in, the fucking better.
Yeah, that you have more time for other things.
Yeah.
His line, I jumped in like at a good time. I think it was right after his lunch. It wasn't that nuts. No, my bad. It was like around 3:30. And I was like, sweet. Let me just come here. I was like 5th in line. Some dude had 2 short boxes in front of me.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's that MegaCon stuff.
His name was Mike.
No, that interaction was funny because I recognize the guy. He's actually a vendor. So I was just standing there minding my own business with my 10 books waiting, all window bagged ready. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then Lee's like, hey, you know, what if I take care of the next person real quick, you know, as you organize your books? And Lee goes, hey. And he goes, oh, hey. And then gets up and says what's up to me. And I'm like, I don't want to be the guy that's also holding up the line.
Right.
You know, so like I spoke to him for like maybe 30 seconds. We're talking. He's like, oh, you know, I'm gonna do San Diego. I'm thinking about New York. And I was like, oh, cool, man. Like, well, I'll definitely see you in New York if you go there. And he's like, oh, so you're working for Sean? And I'm like, yeah, I'll be working for Sean. He's almost swing by and see what's up later. I'm like, yeah. He's like, listen, I'll love to chat with you, but I don't want to be the second guy that holds up the line.
Yeah.
And he's like, right, let's do that. And I still ended up being that guy because apparently there's a funny picture that was taken of my buddy Matt by Martin Simmons. And Lee, who's Lee Bermejo's handler at this moment, was like, oh, you got to see this picture. And it was like this whole other 5-minute ordeal. And I'm like, I need to get this thing over with.
You're backing into the crowd like Homer Simpson.
Yeah, I just feel like the heat on my back. Like, oh,
right.
That guy's been standing there for like 30 minutes. And this guy, come on. So I was like, all right, great. Then I, saw the picture and left. And then went to Martin Simmons and ended up someone went to Sean Murphy's line and showed me like a Martin Simmons piece they picked up. And I was like, oh crap, that's so sick. So I had to go and pick my own up. I still don't know what issue of Department of Truth this is.
I love that though.
I legit went to the comic shop Saturday and was going through all the trades trying to find this page. And then I'm missing the only trade, the only pages, the only books issues I didn't get to see were issue 31, 32, 33. And I'm like, okay, I got to go through those eventually. But I'm like, what if this is a page from a future book? And I'm like, damn it, because Martin Simmons was like, I don't know, mate. And I was like, thanks. But solid deal. He sells pages for like $500 to $700. I'm like, are you kidding me? Especially from like Department of Truth, the actual story. I'm like, I'm in. But I had chances to do things like that and then go back to the booth.
Yeah.
And if I could help people, I could. But again, I couldn't take advantage of a good scenario that I'm currently in.
Right. So you said something about feeling the pressure of 100 people behind you in line, right? And I had the most serendipitous luck in the celebrity area because I never usually go over there. Maybe one person per show or something. And when I went over there for Daphne Keene, I was early. And as I'm walking through trying to figure out where everything is, I glance over and I see Alec Baldwin talking to one single person. And there was a huge line next to his for somebody I'd never even heard of. And this is like maybe the most famous actor there, and there's nobody there. I'm like, what the God damn it. And so I'm like pulling up real quick on my phone trying to order a picture with him. And so I finally get it to load because service is terrible in there.
Right.
And I look up and he's gone. And I'm like, oh, what the hell? And they're like, oh, he just stepped away for a quick break. He'll be right back, like 15 minutes. I'm like, all right, cool. So then I walk over to Daphne, do that thing, come back. First in line, there's literally 3 people there for Alec Baldwin. Got a quick chat and a picture with him. And then I went over to Daphne's after the photo we did, which I'll show you, because I wanted to get it signed, and it looks better in person. Yeah, there
we go. Yeah,
there it is. I wanted to get it signed, and they're like, "Oh, she's not coming back after photos. She's signing again tomorrow." I was like, "Damn, okay." I thought I lucked out because I was like, "There's nobody in line. Sweet, I'll be the first one in line when she comes back." And they're like, "Yeah, no, she's not coming back." I'm like, fuck. So the next day, my mission, I had a lot of things to get done on Sunday. And it was like the Jim Lee experience, the Capullo experience. I had 2 other comic sketches to pick up. I was waiting for, and now I have to cram Daphne into that, like a celebrity autograph line. Fuck. So the first thing I do when I get in, and it's like, I don't know, 10 or 10:30 in the morning, I go straight back to the celebrity area. I round that corner, go past Alec Baldwin, and I see Daphne with nobody there again.
Perfect.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I walk up and they're like, oh, she's cut off. She's got a photo op coming up. And I pulled up my phone. I was like, photo ops in 30 minutes. And they're like, oh, you can come up. I'm like, fucking A. And so
You've just been lawyered.
Yeah. And so I walk up there and there's nobody there. And so I'm not feeling the breath on my neck from all these people, because normally you want to get in and out in those situations when there's 200 people there. And so I actually had a nice quick chat with her, more so than I get with almost anybody like that, for sure.
That's awesome.
And like I'm friends with Craig Kyle, who created her character, and I was like, oh, did you get to see Craig? I know he was trying to find you. She's like, yeah, I just met him. And cool little conversation. But again, like the 2 celebrity lines that I was in was 0. How the fuck does that happen?
That big
At
of a show.
MegaCon?
That's so big of a show.
Yeah, MegaCon.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And I also, twice I walked by when I was leaving the area. Heather Graham's table was kind of on the way out of that area. and she would be talking to like 2 or 3 people. And I'm like, God damn, she was like my 8th grade crush, man. I want to go talk to her. But I was so far past my budget, I didn't do that. I was like standing there texting my wife, I'm like 20 feet away from Heather Graham right now. She's beautiful. But man, I had excellent line luck in that area. I could not believe it.
I didn't.
I gotta say I had it too for juggling because I was getting books not even for me as well. So the fact that I was able to do that, I was in Snyder's line once. I was in Jock's line. I was in Javi Fernandez line. I was in Dan Moore's line. Those are all crazy lines.
Yeah.
And so I was able to get in all of those lines plus a few others with success. So I gotta say I had the feng shui as well.
I feel very lucky to have met Scott Snyder a handful of times now. Like I watched someone's MegaCon video the other day, and she was like waiting in line for 2 hours or something to meet Scott Snyder. And I was like, oh my God, fuck, I can't.
Yeah.
I would not do that. No offense. But that's again, just being able to, go to these things, especially when they have the like exclusive experience kind of thing that's off and it's at its own little thing. That's worth getting. Like I got my Capullo Wolverine, my Snyder Capullo. We have Demons, that really rare Hush 2 Capullo variant.
Nice.
I got this fucking poster that I've had for years. Double signed.
Yep.
Those guys are rock stars.
Handful of things, and then I was able to drop off my my blank for Capullo. That was my fucking Hail Mary long shot.
And I can't wait to that shit.
So I haven't seen it. I don't know if he started it, but I mean, I guess I could tell people about that. So there was Capullo. Every time I see him, I'm like, hey, any chance? He's like, no, I'm not sketching. I'm like, God damn it, And I remember a couple years ago at San Diego, Bat Force Tom sending me pictures from Capullo's table, like, yo, he brought blanks that he sketched on. And I'm like, no shit. And he's sending me photos, and it's like the smallest little fucking remark in the corner, not even centered or anything. And it was like $900. And I'm like, no.
Insane.
No way.
I remember seeing that.
I love this dude, but no. And I remember, I think it was Nando or somebody else. There were like a couple people afterward were like, oh my God, did you see these? I'm like, yeah, I saw them. Like, I'm not doing it. And then I saw the last few cons where they do the Snyder Capullo experience. There's like an extra tier where you can get the remark done on one of your blanks. And I was just like, man, it's so much money for what it is. Like, I just can't, I'm not going to be happy with it. The couple times I've done those smaller remarks from artists like Finch or whatever, like I'll turn it into a jam or something. And it's just not what I really collect, And then I had this fucking idea. And I realized I can cheat the system. I can cheat the system. And so I hit up Tilly Hahn, Tilly's Technique on Instagram. Amazing artist. Totally DIY. And I've had commissions from him before, and I was like, hey, I got this idea. I want to have a hand holding the Joker card. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Blank. So I can bring it. He can still have the space for his little remark, but it's on an actual like composition. And so I hired him to do it, not knowing if Greg would go for this.
Right.
And again, my
Hail Mary
miracle fucking luck. I think the experience was on Sunday. I was walking around Saturday and just happened to go by Capullo's table, and no one's there. He's literally standing up looking for people, like just kind of. I'm like, are you fucking serious? And so I just walked up like, hey man, what's up? Good to see you again. And I told him, I said, hey, I bought the experience tomorrow, and I got this commissioned. Let me know what you think of the idea, because I like oh, this is my chance to kind of set it up ahead of time, not surprising him, be like, oh yeah, draw on this other guy's art. It is a little weird to ask. And so I pulled it out and showed it to him, and he was like,
whoa, what a package. My bad.
He's like, did you draw that? And I was like, no, I had another artist do it. He's a friend. And he's like, that's really cool. He's like, that was your concept though? And I said, yeah, I had the Jared Leto holding up the thing, a truce, Bruce, that whole thing from the Snyder Cut. And I just thought that would make a really cool framing for your little remark. And he was like, yeah, man, that's really cool. I like that idea. And I was like, yes. There was a part of me that was like, I paid for this thing in advance, and I don't know if he's going to go for it or not. And so, especially for a guy who's told me no repeatedly when it comes to drawing at all. So
I never gave up.
Really relieved on that. Yeah, dude, this is 4 years in the running, I think, from when I first met him and was trying to get something drawn by him. And so it's a take home. He said he takes it home. So I haven't seen it yet. I gave it to him the next day at the experience at the signing. But I'm very excited to see how that turns out, because again, the only ones I've seen him do ever are some tiny little thing off to the side.
And so, eat 'em.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. And so to actually have this done properly, because that could be one thing if I hadn't do it and then have someone draw something around it, but then you can't really guarantee placement or anything. It's a shit show. Or how's he going to sign it, And so I put little notes on the backing board of hey, draw on the card, sign.
Can you imagine
the card?
Can you imagine not getting draw on the card?
I know. Yeah.
I'll freak out.
I don't know, yes. But I'm just I feel so lucky that that's even happening. That's in the works, because he's one of the only people left on my bucket list, like real bucket list.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's huge.
Speaking of sketches, right? I know I'm going to circle off to another story, and I'm ready for Mike to jump on. But watching Sean doing his quick sketches most of the show is fascinating.
So good.
He did this Optimus Prime, because there's a collector at the show. They're standing in line, and what they're doing is they're trying to get an Optimus Prime from all their favorite artists.
Yeah.
And just blank sketch, blank sketch, blank sketch. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Wait a minute. What is really going on?
You look like Cinemax in the 90s right now.
What's going on? Happened?
Reset the Wi-Fi.
Let's switch cameras on this.
I'm like, is that a titty? I think that's
what is going on.
That's one titty. No, hang on. Pause it.
Then I just froze too. What is going
you gotta squint your eyes, man. You gotta squint your eyes.
That is funny. Yeah. Just pretend you're staring at a butt. Hold on, let's get this out the way. Everything just I didn't even
it's like the intro anything. To American Pie right here.
That's like when you're trying to flip channels and watch the Max or something. Let me unplug that nonsense. Definitely gonna have to edit that out.
Technical difficulties. Oh, look at that.
Now I got my laptop camera, which equally sucks. Whatever. So sorry about that glitch there. I used the camera the company gave me. It's probably the CIA camera as well. But yeah, just watching Sean crush these sketches, and this person wanted Optimus Prime. I just saw 35 sketches with this person's favorite artist. I was like, wow, what a great concept. And again, watching Sean draw Gambit, multiple Batmans, different variations.
Those DKR Batman covers that he did.
Dude, I was staring at it and I'm like, I don't want to do it. I want to, but I can't. I'm like, it's so hard to restrain myself.
He's one of those guys that I love so much, but I've already gotten 5 different sketches from him over the years, and so
Well, why not get more?
well, yeah, but it's like a guest list like that. I have to prioritize the people that I've never got before, and so it was tricky, man. I want to get. I think my next one that I want from Sean will probably be a Mr. Freeze. And then
Oh
I
yeah, because that was
saw,
the first one he drew, and I was like,
yeah, and then I
always
saw
wanted Mr.
someone else
Freeze.
got one. I'm like, God damn it.
It's so frustrating.
But it turned out great. It turned out great. And I still think even if I never get another one, my Asbats that he did is one of my personal favorites in the whole collection. And like the Gotham by Gaslight that you got is fucking mind blowing.
I never posted
You
it.
know,
I legit, I
even-
think I spoke about it at the year recap with us.
That's nuts. You need to take a good picture of that and put it up.
No, I don't want people bothering him. Oh, can I get something like that? He's either give me the look.
That's why he didn't drop my Asbats on the floor in Dallas. He was like, "No, I'm gonna do this, and then everyone's gonna want me to do one like that." He's like, "So I'm gonna do it in my hotel, and I'll give it to you later at the after party thing." And I was like,
Yeah.
"All right, fine."
And
I
again,
dig
that-
that, man. Stop biting, man. Stop
Yeah.
biting people's styles, man. I don't like that shit, man.
yo, what
Come
I
up
hate
with
is
an
like
idea.
people go,
Vermeer
"Hey,
told me last year that the people would ask him to copy the Joker that he did for me, and I was like, "Really?" And then he wound up now.
Man.
Now
No.
Scott
get your own
has
Joker."
it. Scott's has it on their page now as commission reference, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
No, here's the thing I can say about that. You're already dealing with the fact that the artists, many of them, have their manufactured poses that they have for certain characters that you can't say don't do that. They're gonna just do what they do anyway. So when you request something unique and they actually do it, like, dude, come up with your own fucking idea, man.
Come up with your own Capullo Joker card.
Yeah, man. It's like,
creative
dude,
with it.
it's hard out here, man.
I
hard.
guarantee by the end of this year, on that Facebook sketch prices group, when people are posting their top 10 at the end of the year, I guarantee somebody else takes that Capullo idea.
Man, hey, I'm gonna be in the comments.
Yo, honestly, imagine DC having that as a blank already. Like just a cover like that with that blank.
Oh, that would be
Pretty
hard
cool.
though.
That's pretty cool. Don't do that. It's my idea. Fuck you.
Yo, at least give them some comps if you do.
That's like Amanda Connor's Harley where she's carrying
my
out
Favorite. I
the
love
frame,
that cover.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I got 2 sketches on or 2 remarks. Whatever. There's sketches in that little box.
Yeah.
I have 2 of those from her, and phenomenal. But back to sketches, Sean only charges $300 for a
I got
sketch,
sketches.
which is insane, right? So for $300, you get, it's a 5 to 10 minute sketch that he's doing. He just knocks him out. You just watch him, like, dude, like you're just drawing lines, and look where we're at now, which is phenomenal.
Again, we talked about this before, but like he went from doing the most quick basic remarks, that was all he would offer, and then every year more and more and more, and now you practically get a full fucking figure from him.
Yeah,
and
which is nuts.
I've had people be like, "Yeah, I don't know if I could spend that though," or whatever, and I was like, name one other artist on his level who's gonna give you like a bust or a full figure for $300 in color.
Yeah,
there isn't one. Like, it's worth it.
Yeah, and on top of that, any artist in general, any creator in general, his pricing with signatures, his pricing with remarks and sketches, compared to a lot of people on the floor, and we saw a lot of that in MegaCon,
bro.
How things fluctuate, and guys, get your stuff signed by Sean. If you could get a remark and sketch, do it before. I don't think he's the guy who gets bigger and changes anything, because he's huge and still hasn't really changed much. He still offers 5 free signatures.
Yeah, dude.
Like coming in, like you don't get that from much artists, period, regardless of caliber. And then those sketch and remark prices are just nuts for someone. That's why his line was long on MegaCon, and everyone was like, "Wait, what? Like the first 5 are free? You never see it on the floor anywhere." We're dealing with people who are charging $10. 10, 20, 30 raw. You have people who do the multicolor thing.
Oh my
And
God!
let me shout out. Let me shout out before we get off of this. We're talking about he does first five free, right?
Yeah,
Tim Bradstreet, Punisher,
nice,
cover artist, first three free.
Hey,
Okay.
huge.
bravo, bravo,
And that's a
bravo.
dude that never does cons. He's hard to find.
Hell yeah.
Paul Miotti,
Another one.
first one free.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll
And
take
he
it.
did the little remark for free. Like,
That's awesome.
that shit is awesome. These guys are not new to this. They're OGs and they're there for the fans. You know,
Yeah,
we've talked a lot about this, Mike. You know, these guys that are new, that are charging a lot versus
Oh,
these guys that are old school that don't need to do that because their trip is covered and they're good. You know, like if you bring them 10 copies of the same book, they're gonna fucking charge you. But like,
yeah,
but these little things where it's designed for fans. If you get your first one or your first two, that's designed for fans, not
and
scalpers.
guess what? The fans love people like Sean Gordon Murphy and Dustin Wynn, who has a
that's the
similar
first 10.
has a similar practice, right? Think about this. Their OA is always in demand.
Yep.
Sean Gordon Murphy's published work is always in demand, and they sell for thousands of dollars a page. So it's not like just throwaway stuff, right? So I always say, I appreciate, I'm talking about the artist here.
Yeah.
I appreciate the artists that get paid for their art and not get paid off signatures. It's like, man, come on, man. Like if you're really leeching off the fans where you're getting, coming up of all these gimmicks, these different, different multicolor SIGs and splash this, old school this, and man, get out of here with that. If
Now the signature's $100 because you painted it.
Huh?
Now the signature's $100 because you painted it. Like,
yeah, it's like you painted your name. It's like, dude, do art. Like, at least I give this new guy, Eom from Korea, it's $20 a SIG, but it comes with a remark, and all of his SIGs and remarks are different. So even if you had like duplicates of the same book, all of the SIGs would be different. It'll be a different SIG placement. He actually puts TLC and everything. So like you get your $20 worth, but like these jokers over here that should be drawing and they charge you as if they are, man, kick rocks.
You're being generous with that. I'm gonna be honest. Get the fuck out of here with your bullshit.
Dave's New York comes out sometimes.
Yeah, like I just get
Fuck
frustrated
outta
with
here.
that stuff. But yeah, you had to find. Yes, that's. I noticed that a lot this year. I noticed it in general, but so many people mention that while we had them on the line, and it's tough when people are getting sketches. Something I learned when you're standing in line, people are getting sketches ahead of you. So one thing we did with our line was make sure that after every sketch, we took care of the people who were just doing signatures.
Yes.
And then kept the line flowing that way. And then one of the main things I did was, hey, these people are standing in line mad long. Let's look at some original art. Right.
Oh,
and again,
yeah.
then I was just showing people original art while they're standing in line. And you know what? And everyone was like, yo, wait a minute. Why isn't Sean so much more expensive? That's because you're looking at everyone else and what they're trying to sell their stuff for.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell is going on? Which is going to lead to, right when we were at the con, there was a post or something that we saw from a sketch cover.
Oh, God.
I'm going to bring it up because I lost my mind when I saw it. And, we hear different variations of what it really is.
Yeah, this was the gossip of the weekend for sure.
Yeah, it was. There was a Ryan Otley picture of a sketch cover an Invincible sketch cover that apparently had a sticker price or a price on there of $12,000.
And I didn't believe you guys when you showed me. I was like, that's a mistake. And you were like, that's a comma and a decimal. That's not a
mistake. I'm like, I saw 3 zeros, a dot, and 2 more zeros. Yep. That was wild.
But yeah, that was a whole thing though leading up to it because what we do in this community, if you guys don't know, is we try to find prices. These aren't like, you can't just go to fucking Walmart.com and look up Ryan Otley autograph. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And with a lot of the celebrities, you can go to MegaCon website and you can buy it. But for comic artists, we're on our own. And so we take pictures of those price lists and we share them with each other so that people can know, oh, hey, here's the latest on Otley. And he had a very generously, I would say, confusing, but I would almost say misleading sign, because they redid it entirely after there was backlash online, where it was saying like, it didn't even have a regular signature price. It just said like signatures on Invincible products were like fucking $50-$60 or something egregious, you know. And everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about, you know? And then that led into someone then finding that sketch cover that was 12 G's. And so people were already, they had the pitchforks and they were ready to go for it. And then that tipped the scale.
Bro, okay, so we're in the room. Yeah. I have a pitchfork. I already have my pitchfork. then the homie Risley, he DMs me a picture of the 12K cover. I'm like, yo, I showed you guys, and then dude, it was like we experienced it in real time, man. Yeah. And okay, so do you want to finish the story and tell everybody what ended up happening? So it's 12K, but what was it? Do you want to finish it?
What there was apparently 12K because
it is
published cover.
It's a published cover, yes.
But
does that change your opinion on the price tag?
I never seen anyone do a published cover on a blank sketch cover.
Yeah, it's a little confusing.
That's why it's mad hard to believe that. It's really hard to believe that. Wait a minute.
That's what I'm saying. That's some bullshit, bro.
I mean, I saw it though, and it is the same, but it's, yeah, I guess there's just a little bit of like cognitive dissonance there.
Cover? It is actual cover?
It is. I've seen the published colored version, and it's the same fucking thing, but it's just weird because normally if you're paying that much for a published work,
11x17.
It's on the 11x17 official board and everything. And so I think it was just like everyone's scratching their head like, huh? You know, like, are you fucking for real?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't change it for me, man. Like, to me,
because a sketch book, like 12 G's on a sketch cover. No,
it doesn't change it for me. It's like, dude, come on, man. And then on top of the fact, let's get back to what is true, what is real.
Yeah,
those $50 SIGs on all those Invincibles, right?
And that's
like, did he change it?
There's like a demarcation line of like anything, like the original Invincible issues, you know, this one through that one is a certain price, and then like the newer Invincible issues, this one through that one is another price, and it's like everyone's getting into the weeds with this shit. Like, I've seen certain artists, like their big key thing, they might charge more for that one big thing everyone wants from them, right? Because they know half you motherfuckers are gonna sell it, right? And I get that, but to just be like, well, this one and that one and this whole run and that whole run, and like, calm down.
Yeah, listen, just keep the rules very simple. If you're making money through publishing, you got to know who your fans are.
And TV licensing, man, like, you're
like,
good.
Relax.
You don't need.
I think a couple of books free would be nice for those people who get published stuff. Great. But for anyone who has multiple books, that's when you're like, all right, if you have multiple books, I have to charge you because clearly you have multiple books for a reason, and you don't have that many friends. So
we're talking multiple copies of the same book.
Yeah. Like the same multiple copies of the same book. Like something like that's cool. If you're gonna do that, I'm gonna have to charge you, okay? And most of the people when that happens, they do this and they go, no problem, because I'm gonna make money off of your signature.
Exactly.
And life as well. I've never seen a negative interaction with that. But when you're charging different prices depending on the book, like $50 is what a badge costs a day.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, man.
And again, if you're a
$50
fan,
is a nice dinner.
if you're a fan and you show up, right? Again, we're in this. The three of us, we are in this shit. And so we're going to see this stuff before anyone else. And even in this case, we're finding out, like you said, in real time at the show. So, like, if you're the average fan and you find out your favorite artist is going to be there and you're like, oh, sweet. And you bring your books from home. Maybe you have one.
I got this when I was a kid. And it's booked at me so much to you.
Maybe you have one, or maybe you have 10. Either way, you're bringing your stuff. Where's the Otley line? Oh, okay. You know, you get no information at that point, and then you're in it for an hour or something. This guy has crazy amount of fans there, and good for him. I love Invincible.
Yeah, but
then you get to the front, and then they're gonna break the news. Oh, that one is 60. This one is 25. You're like, wait, hang on. You know,
like wait, like that's more than my whole trip being here. Are you kidding me? On just
on
3 signatures.
Like, we're going all in at these shows. I mean, I think it's fair to say we're heavy hitters compared to the average person that's going to come to one of these events, and maybe, oh, there's 1 or 2 artists they're going to try to meet. Really, they just want to browse the floor and check out a panel and whatever. Right? I mean, I just feel like to the average person, that's insane.
Yeah. I hate panels.
For me, I'm not that familiar with Ryan Otley, and so this was the show. This was the show where I like bought some Ryan Otley books, and I was going to get familiar with them. So as you said, I'm doing my recon. I'm doing my research, and then I'm getting these numbers back, and then I'm like, hold on, and I'm verifying through multiple sources. And multiple sources are giving me these same bullshit ass numbers. I'm like, you know what? Fuck Ryan Otley. I'm all over back home, bro.
Yeah, it's nuts, and that's it's disheartening for fans. You know, for us, you know,
respectfully.
Respectfully, of course. Like for real.
I mean, hey, two years ago, my first MegaCon, he did my Czarface sketch that I'm looking at right now. I fucking love it. It was a great experience. He's always been very nice to me, but we just talked about Sean Murphy and Dustin Nguyen and Palmiotti and some of these others. And now this is the other side of that same coin, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's not just him, guys. There's a lot of artists and creators that do this.
Totally.
I know Mark Silvestri at Terrificon. If you had a couple of X-Men books, those were I think $30, and his regular signature was $10. So like, it's not just Ryan Otley. This is the thing that's going on.
50% of what is being charged in this other situation. So
but it's happening. It's crazy. I think even like doesn't like Liefeld charges like $90 or something if it's Mutants 98.
Well, and
regular signature is like $20.
We had this conversation about Snyder too. This is stuff that everyone's talking about at the show, like at lunch or at dinner that night, you know, going like, oh, did you see the fucking Absolute 15 is, you know, $50 or whatever? It's like,
Yeah, that was wild because it was like if you had Absolute 1 and Absolute 15, 50 for Scott. Was it each? I don't want to misspeak. Was it each issue? Was the first one regular price and then 50?
Yeah, that might be what it was. That might be.
And it wasn't for all variants. It was for the ones that you buy from the comic shop. So the A cover, if there was a B cover, I think. And same thing with the issue 15, which was the A cover and all the jock variants were also $50 or less for the first one, $50 for the following ones. And I jock was also 50 for that.
That tripped us up too because it was like
$100 for one book.
Everyone's seeing the price tag for that certain issue, and we're like, Jesus Christ! And then in the fine print, it would be like, well, the first one isn't, and we're like, okay, this is getting so complicated, guys.
Yeah, man, just chill, man. That's my whole point. They're trying to
everyone needs to math.
All the selling, you know what I mean? They're trying to circumvent, you know, it's not going to work.
I think they're testing nerves to see how good our math is. And
man, half of us are autistic. Come on.
Well, now it's like you have to know math. Math is very important, guys. So when you see these problem equations, you have to figure it out and get the most economical thing out of it. It's so this price thing is different because before there's a couple of people that were doing it. Now we're seeing it more common on individual creators like larger books. So it's something that we just got to figure out a way to around.
It is
in the near
the
future.
Live Nationification. It's the
Yeah.
ticket masterism of comics. You know,
It's the government's taxes, folks.
yeah.
You just keep on getting taxed, just
Hey,
like going to cons.
Can I give us a positive for a second? I want
Yeah,
to
of
show you. I
course.
want to show you my sketches because I always have a great fucking sketch haul at MegaCon. First one was my friend Travis Mercer, who
That's
I've
sick, dude. I
got to
saw
see a
that and I'm
couple
like,
shows.
wait, what? How much was that, dude? Like, how much
Well,
was not the Fred price?
okay, the real price on this is probably $500-$600, something like that.
Worth it.
Because he's got multiple tiers, as most artists do, for like head sketch, bust, and full figure. And this is obviously full figure. Holy shit! It's even got the Nightwing logo in the background. I don't know how well that
you went in on that.
Here.
That's beautiful, dude.
But like, he asked me, you know, what do you think in character wise? And I was like, well, I know Nightwing is a really special character for you, and I still don't have a Dick Grayson sketch, so I'd like you to be the first. And he was like, I got you. And so he actually does his mock-ups digitally. In fact, he included it. He printed it out and
for the blank.
He printed it out and included it. His digital mock-up right here.
Oh,
it's a piece of paper next to the actual sketch. And so you'll see him like work with one of those. It's like a tablet light box kind of thing, and so he'll lay the book open over it and he's inking over his digital pencils. So
that is sick.
Yeah, pretty cool. And then in Portland in January, I met Greg Land and his wife Trish, and
this piece
I got my first Rogue Hooters. Yeah, I gave my wife goes, she's got an X-Men pasty. I was like, it's the suit. It's on her suit.
Well, we can't see the other side of her boobs, so you never know.
But I gave, well, yeah, you can, because the banner behind him is a Rogue, and you could see this is like the yellow portion of the suit. And then anyway, fuck you. But this turned out amazing. I gave him actually 2 blanks, and I let him choose. I said, you can use the X-Men blank for Rogue, or you can use the Spider-Man blank for Gwen Stacy. And I said, just
beautiful, dude.
Surprise me. So
that makes me want to get something. I'm trying to like,
dude, he's a killer. This one is another kind of bucket list for me because I had a CGC mail-in sketch opportunity from Dan Mora, but I never got to meet him. And I was able to get an actual Batman from him in person this time, which was pretty sweet.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, I like it. I do wish his head sketches were like a little more of the page, but I think what I'll do is have this colored and, you know, put some kind of like a dynamic shape behind the head, make it pop, kind of like Travis did with the logo, you know, something like that to give it some dimension. But
is it like that's a tier? So if they make it bigger, it's going to be more of a bust more than
the bust was another step up. I didn't think that I was gonna get a Mora sketch at this show, and then my friend Eric was like, oh, so who else are you trying to meet today? And I was like, well, Tim Bradstreet isn't sketching, so I'm gonna see if I can get on Mora's list. And he's like, oh, dude, I got 2 spots. Do you want one of mine? I was like, oh, are you fucking serious?
What a boss move.
Yeah. So
they have 2. I'll be like, fuck you, man. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Major shout out to Eric. That was amazing. We just walked right over there, and I gave his blank to his agent there, Quan, and I was so fucking grateful because Mora had a non-stop line, never ending the whole con. And
that dude was busy.
And this was on Thursday, like maybe before the regular doors had even opened, if I'm remembering correctly. It was within the first couple hours of the preview day, and I'm going to cover up my phone number, but I was 12th on the list. I was nuts. 12th on day 1. That's insane.
Monster. He's a monster.
Yeah. Apparently,
he's a monster.
He was caught taking a nap in the green room. That dude was going in.
Yeah, dude. I actually got a sketch at the week later at Planet. Planet was crazy. That was crazy. Dude, okay, I have to just talk about Quan, man. This story, dude.
Love Quan. I got a story after this too.
Okay, but this was funny. So like Dan, Dan was taking a break, and like his brother was there or someone related to Dan, and he was like sitting in a chair where Dan was at, and Quan was like on his knees near him, like under the table, like had books and stuff. He was shuffling it, and I was walking toward the booth, and so he was like Quan was etching toward dude's lap, and dude grabbed Quan's head and like grabbed it towards his crotch like that. And I caught him like that. Caught his head like that. And then like dude looked at me.
You're like, hold still.
He looked at me, he was like all embarrassed, and I was like, nah, man, you caught that motherfucker, man. Fuck that fool. You got him.
Yo, he slapped him, dude.
Had him like, because he was just minding his own business. He was edging closer. Like, you know what, man?
It feels like I was walking back and forth to that table a lot because I helped Juan with something.
Yeah.
And then I needed some signatures from Dan, which is great. But I was walking to go pick up my signatures from Dan, and I came across the Giant Omas from the WWE, who's a huge fan of the comic book community. He was looking at some art, and then the two other gentlemen who were with him were the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo something. I apologize. I don't watch wrestling. It's hard for me to remember these names, but they were just there by Dan Moore's desk table, just like looking at stuff. Omas, who's 7'2", and I learned this is how I make people feel. I looked at him and I was like, "Oh, hey man, hey, what's up?" He was like, "Oh, my boy, I need to go to Sean next." And I'm like, "Cool." And like he gave me a dap and like pulled me in. And I'm like, this is a massive human being.
He's throwing me around like a rag doll.
Yeah, and it was like then Quan's like standing there. I'm looking at Quan. I'm looking at
right.
Omas, and I'm like, hey Quan, so me close to Omas, like this is how you feel? He's like, no, you make me feel that much shorter, way more shorter. Great time. And then after that, we went to meet Sean. We saw Sean. After that, Sean had his moment. Corinne was making fun of him, which her and I were having a ball with that. And then Omas asked me he really wants to meet Jim Lee.
Yeah, I saw him over there.
Ask.
Yeah,
that was an ask because I was like, okay, hit up the homie, the Riz Dog, P1, PO2, bet. Told us to stand aside. And then this is at the moment when I was really happy in my life because I was like, wow, I feel normal. I got the 7'2" dude, these two of the guys, 6'5", 6'4". And then now one of the announcers from the WWE, Mike Romes, another 6 something. And I was like, this is what it feels like. I was like talking to people. I was looking up. I was talking this way.
I was like, a regular person feels like.
I was like, wow, this whole moment, like nothing felt real.
You haven't felt like that since elementary school.
Right? Yeah. And that's because of the older kids. Now it's like, wow, that was great. So while we're standing there waiting for Jim Lee, I was like, all right, I'm going to go ask because I'm like, we're going to stand here and the whole line's going to pass. I go over to his handler. I'm like, hey, man, listen, you see those big dudes over there? They're professional wrestlers. I just want to meet Jim Lee real quick. My man talks to Jim Lee. Jim Lee goes, and the picture, if you guys see my post, took pictures together. And that was my moment. But it's funny. It started with Dan Mora. And then before you know it, I'm surrounded. I feel like I'm either a bodyguard or I have bodyguards. And then there's a Jim Lee moment that occurred. And that was pretty neat.
Posse'd up with Jim Lee.
That was weird. If you guys go on my page and you see there's some photos of them meeting, and Jim Lee looks so small. Jim Lee at one moment was trying to show his wrestling moves that he was doing against his handler to these guys. He was really entertaining, man. And Omos was just he had his moment, and he just turned around. And I'm like, is this what I do to people when I get excited? Because again, he was like, yo, man, brought me in again. And I'm like, oh my God, I just reached his shoulders. Like, holy hell, dude. Like I had this moment. So I had my moment being short. and he had his moment with Jim Lee, and it was a great thing that started at Dan Moore's table. That was a very popular table, let me tell you.
Yeah, it was, dude. It was, man. It was
Yeah, I was grateful, man. And
What other sketches you got?
dude, it doesn't stop. So Anna Jo, we know, is a great artist, but also one thing
amazing.
I noticed is I kept noticing her colors. And I asked her ahead of time, I said, do you ever do color commissions? Because I have some that are just inks, and I would love to see your touch on it. And so I brought her these two. This is Sinapo and Weeks. So Maria Laura Sinapo did Supergirl last year at MegaCon. I think it was Dave that helped me choose the character. Actually, I was going between Wonder Woman or Supergirl, and we went with Sasha Kaye version. So this looks so much better now. Really, really pops out. And then the Lee Weeks Gordon. This was from Rose City Comic Con, I think a year and a half ago, something like that. And I remember when I was going to meet him, and you guys were like, "Oh yeah, you're definitely going to get a Lee Weeks Batman, right?" I'm like, I got other plans, and so he's my very first Gordon.
That's
So,
pretty solid.
That's a solid choice for him too.
Yeah, I thought so too. Like, I feel like Lee Weeks or like Francavilla, or some of these guys that just do the noir stuff really well. I would love their Gordon.
Oh, that's
a solid choice.
This is another one. I've wanted to meet Serge Acuna and Kath Lobo for years at this point. And it actually wasn't until way later, following all these different artists, realizing that they all know each other. So like Lucas Meyer, Travis Mercer, Serge Acuna, Kath Lobo, Dan Mora, like the certain style of artist. And then after getting to be friends with Travis a little bit, he's like, "Oh yeah, no, we're all friends. Like there's literally a group chat of like all of us and like Jimenez and some of these." I'm like, "Okay, that
That's
makes a lot of
awesome.
sense." And then to find out that Serge and Kath were married, I was like, "Oh, I need a team up from both of you guys." So I expanded my Bat family.
Damn, dude.
I got the Tim Drake Robin with Stephanie's Spoiler. It was either going to be this or Nightwing and Batgirl, but since Travis did Nightwing, I figured that was plenty of dick for one show. But yeah, I thought this was awesome. And
awesome.
The final piece is Don McTagg, who
I saw the process shot you showed me.
Yeah. Woo. Speaking of a talented colorist, my God.
That's unbelievable, dude.
She did the half face Zatanna for me about a year ago in Portland, and I love it. And I've just seen in person even the extra work she puts in on her busts. I mean, this is a bust with fucking two hands and a card and all the extra stuff.
Yeah, that's insane.
And so I remember seeing her do a Witchblade when she was doing my Zatanna, and she's like, "Yeah, the guy wanted to have the whole fucking thing," and her writing partner was at her table too, and she was like, "Yeah, I always tell her she goes too far with these. She's just too much for what she's charging or whatever." And she's like, "Yeah, I just want to make the fans have a really good experience. I want to make sure everyone gets their money's worth, and she just had that kind of like a Sean Murphy attitude of like, "Yeah, I'm just here for the fans though."
That's awesome.
And so next opportunity that came around, I was like, "Okay, I got to not get the head sketch. I got to get the bust and see if she'll go all in." And so if you actually
dude,
if you look at her punchline number 1 variant from a few years ago, this is directly inspired from that, because
awesome.
I told her I haven't seen you draw her since then, and I love that cover. And so she basically brought that cover to life for me. And again, like, goes all in. I went by her table a million times all 4 days. She never was not drawing. If she was selling something or signing for a fan, her sketch that she was currently working on was sitting right there. Like, she's always working, to the extent that she went to Planet the next week and posted a photo of like the blister on her finger from drawing nonstop 2 shows in a row. Like, she
That's
puts in the
dedication.
work and she really cares about her fans. And so I just want to be a huge champion of her work as a fan. Like, come on. You're
Yeah,
not going to
that's
get
don't
more
find a
for your
look there.
money.
That's amazing.
You're not going to get more for your money than that. Like, just, and that's through the plastic too, you know. But yeah, so Dawn McTagg, and for anybody who doesn't know, the only way to get a commission is to be on her mailing list. So go look her up and get on her mailing list so that you can do that next time you see her at a show. So
yeah, I need to figure out. I need to figure out like what's the next sketch to get for myself because I'm like, you know, I don't think last time I got a sketch.
So tell me where you're at because you have character series, right? I know you had 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. You had Harley, Batgirl, Catwoman, right? Like
Poison Ivy and Zatanna.
Okay, so where are you at? You still have like a lot to go on each one?
Yeah, the one I have the most of is Catwoman. I have 7 Catwomen. I have 6 Poison Ivies.
Damn.
6 Harley Quinns.
Okay. So you're knocking them out. That's good.
I got 3 Zatannas and 4 Batgirls.
Nice.
5 golden rings.
I remember texting you on the last day. I was like, "Yo, I found a booth that has fucking 3 Batgirl blanks."
I know.
Like, you still need any?
I'm good. I'm good.
Like I bought one of them, but
yeah, I have a full short box of blanks, and I already have all the blanks I need for the moment, unless something dope as hell comes out.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not sure what my next sketch is going to be. I have to feel the artists at that show or something. I think I always have blanks on me just in case.
Yeah.
And then
I
would love to get a Belen Ortega in the future. I didn't have the funds for it now.
Yeah. There were a lot at this show that you know, I feel very happy with what I was able to accomplish. If anyone follows me, I sold a lot of things. I pulled a lot of extra shifts. You know, I did everything I could to make sure that I got the most out of this experience because it's like a once in a year big show for me. But there's still a lot of artists. Belen was one. There was a handful where I just would introduce myself and be like, "Hey, I don't have anything for you to sign, but like, you know, big fan of your work. Hope that you know, next time I get a commission from you, you know." And sometimes there's like an English barrier, and they'd be like, "Oh, you want a commission?" I'm like, no, I do, I do.
Yeah,
you know, fucking pull out the empty pockets, you know. But yeah, there were so many that I couldn't even get to this time, but at least I got to make that introduction with them. And you know, these shows are just, they're overwhelming because I could go to no other shows and save all fucking year and I still wouldn't get everybody I want, I'm sure, you know, like it's insane. And that's 4 days. I've never gone all 4 days, and I was busy till the fucking last hour on the last day.
Yeah,
I pulled a couple of books just to show
the things you got. Yeah, show it off.
Just real quick. One big name for me was Chuck Dixon.
Yeah.
So I was able to get some Chuck Dixon, and this is my only Chuck Dixon and Graham Nolan. And this is a main conquest. Able to get that. Then obviously, boom, the first print of the first appearance of Bane, and I have Glenn Fabry on that. So this was cool. And then this is Kelly Jones's first Detective Comics cover. So I thought this was cool. He put a little bat logo on that. And then you got Chuck Dixon there. And then you got these spoiler keys here.
Oh, wow.
You got Matt Wagner and Chuck Dixon on these.
The first Stephanie.
And then as you guys know, Absolute Batman is you know, booming crazy right now. So here's the ash can. I finally got Snyder on the ash can. So that's double signed. Shout out to you, Dave. I got Javi Fernandez. I did not know that he did the Hell Arisen 3, the first Punchline full appearance. And then Dan Morrow. I got a Dan Morrow mark.
Yeah.
That was nice.
And
dude.
this was yeah, man. I got hooked up, man. One of the good things Quan did for humanity was hooked me up with this remark by Dan Mora. So yeah, man, that was probably like my top books there. Ending with the Dan Mora.
And thank you for the speaking of Dixon, thank you for the Batman Punisher crossover. That was fun to read when I got home.
Dope, man. Dope. I'm mad because I had that book. I was with John Romita Jr. a couple weeks ago prior, and I could have had a double sign. You would have had a double sign, man.
Yeah,
and then I have an Ultimate Fallout 4. It's funny because this was the other show where I started getting Marvel books. So I did get some Marvel keys.
That's the one that you dramatically smashed in the living room the other day.
Yes, it's the Ultimate Fallout 4. I smashed the slab, and
I chisel at my corners with a little screwdriver and a hammer, and you were just like, "Hey guys, whack!" and just exploded the slab.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off, man.
Yeah, you never know what's going on in the condo. It could be Jurassic Park. It could be slab raking. It could be us just setting around just chit-chatting. Once you got back to the condo, anything was possible.
And, shout out to you, Dave, because you helped finalize the liberation process of the Ultimate Fallout 4 because I needed scissors, and you're able to hook up scissors at the table. So that was the last process.
Dude, you just pulled up like your whole suitcase in the middle of that little entry area. And I'm like, this guy looks like he's ready to get it's like, oh my God, how much more, I got to take weight out of the suitcase, to get it to to check it in. Like you were just in the middle of it. And everyone in the line just looking down like, what is this guy doing? I'm like, you need scissors? I got you. Oh, he's his friend. All right, cool. We don't have to worry about him. Dude, you in that suitcase was wild.
Oh yeah, man. Two of them.
Yeah, that was nuts.
I have such mixed experiences with that because it's like, okay, each day I accomplish some, and then I can take out the books that I'm not carrying any longer, right? I can lighten my load in my bag, right? But then I was also like, well, I can't leave original art just like in the room. Like, I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. And so as I was picking up every day, then I'm just replacing the weight that I took out. And I'm like, oh, God damn. So like, I never got the last day light bag feeling, but I would just like, no, I gotta keep these things close. I'm gonna be paranoid if I leave them in the room or something,
I just because how minimal it happens, like people the theft and stuff during cons, and maybe because it hasn't happened to me yet, although I'm very overprotective of my stuff. I really leave my stuff around. I was like, no, in the room, I'm like, I bet if stuff goes missing, I got someone's phone number to find out. Like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, if you leave your fucking Sean Murphy banner on the sidewalk, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah,
Did you know that, Mike?
No, that was not fine.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
So
on the last day, on Monday, I wake up late because they flew out early. I wake up late. I get a text from hours ago that's like, "Hey, dude, and I misread it. I thought it was like I'm at the gate. I left my banner, and I thought he meant he left it in his room, and he couldn't get in the gate or something. And I was like, oh, sorry, dude. I just woke up, And so I'm like cleaning up the last of the stuff and brushing my teeth. And I check the room. I don't see anything in there in his room. I'm like, oh, he must have come back and got it. And then I call my Lyft and I walk out there, open the gate, come out the sidewalk, and I look down and his fucking sketched, signed Sean Murphy banner is like, it's in that retractable metal casing, like it's just sitting there on the fucking sidewalk, totally unattended in the sun. And I was just like, holy shit, I found it.
Yo, when I got that text message, I was on the plane. Yo, this sense of joy, just like I could have flown the plane at that moment and landed. Like, and anything was possible. Anything was possible. When I realized that I left it, there's this panic that I had because the day before, my mom called me about the airport being, because
Right.
government shutdown and TSA not getting paid and all that jazz. She's like, oh, you have to make sure you get to the airport early. I'm like, Mom, I'll be fine. Like, I got pre-check. I'm mad, not thinking. I wasn't watching the news. I didn't care.
Yeah.
But Jared was like, hey, man, we got to leave like at 4:30. I'm like, damn, my flight's at 8:30. Why the hell am I leaving at 4:30 for? And then I was like looking at stuff on the news. And I was looking at Reddit, and I'm like, fuck, Orlando's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's one of their airports. So I get the lift. I go out there. So we're just out there with our stuff. And the lift pulls up to the gate key pad. And they message me like, hey, I need the key pad. And I'm like, I'm right here. I'm right next to you.
Bitch, I'm standing right.
Yeah. And then they're not seeing me waving. So I message them. I'm to the left of you. There's 2 guys with 4 suitcases and a bag. And then I just walk up and nothing's happening. And I turn around to Jared. I'm like, yo, we're about to get murdered. I don't know it was an awkward scenario. So now my mind's just stuck in this scenario. I grab my 2 bags, not thinking about the third one that I just bought. We put it in the lift, and I'm still like, what the hell is wrong with this person? Like, there's no one else out here. It's 4:30 in the morning. So I'm just mad confused about the whole scenario. And I think it was like 15 minutes into the trip towards the airport. I'm like, wait a minute,
Kevin.
Nah. I was like, nah, man. Yeah, exactly. Banner. And I was like, no, maybe I put it in the back. Maybe I put it in the back. We pull up to the airport, and there's this long ass baggage drop line. And I'm like, can I make it back? And I was like, look at this fucking line, dude. Look at this line of people just dropping off their bags. And I'm like, I had to drop off a bag. Damn it. So I was like, you know what? It's going to work out. And I remember just telling myself that. Whatever it is, it's going to work out. I text Sammy. If it happens, it happens. And then I told Jared this. Jared's like, oh, man, I can't believe you left it. He's like, it was a weird scenario. It was. The whole thing. I was like,
and literally 5 hours later, I see the text and I'm like, huh? No, I don't know. And so he's the whole time he's just like, fuck, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. But then I was a little hopeful. I'm like, someone's gonna open it and be like, oh, I went to the con. I know who Sean Murphy is. I might know Dave. I'm just, there's gonna be a connection somehow.
Yeah, maybe. And if anybody doesn't know, we're talking about the 6 foot tall banner with his name and art on it.
And he was drawing on throughout the show.
He drew on, yes.
Yeah. And at the show,
I
he'll
finally
draw on
got
it
one.
and sell it. Yeah. So
finally got one. I couldn't fit it in the suitcase, and I was frustrated about it. I'm like, all right, I guess I got to carry it on, whatever. And when I lost it, I was like, fuck, I really wanted it. Like, damn, the one thing I wanted from this convention that I got, I forgot. I was so mad at myself.
Did it show up yet? Did you get it yet?
No, it's coming tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, can't wait. I was like, yes, finally. But yeah, that was kind of the way the con ended. A massive Hail Mary, because it was a shitty situation, and then it ended up being unshitty because, again, community. You have friends. We know each other.
So for extra clicks, you should title this MegaCon recap / Project Hail Mary, because that's the big movie right now.
Yeah.
So
it was a Project Hail Mary.
There you go.
It was a Project Hail Mary for all of us, man. It was nuts. But something else I got to walk away with that I wasn't planning on. I walked away with that. Thank God. I took Sean Murphy's sign. He's got a sign by myself, Jake, Corinne, Sean Murphy, and then Corinne's new assistant, Kim. Just as our first MegaCon. It was a fun thing to do.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and I was like, I'll keep it up behind me, and I'll look at it sometimes. So I'm in 2 weeks there. And I'm like, wow, 2 weeks ago was fucking awesome. And it's it reminds me of all the moments that we've been discussing or whatnot. But
I did that once with a tour. On the last night of the tour, I asked everybody to sign it, and I remember some of the people were like, you should be signing this for me. I was like, no, I want everybody on the thing, we had an awesome fucking, thing. I want to remember it,
Yeah, those things are cool. So I got that, and that was pretty neat. I didn't pick up much on the show, but I got enough done. I picked up some variant covers. Nothing too crazy. None that like anyone else was like chasing after. But pretty solid.
I almost forgot the last signature because I got one of my Jim Lees went to you, one of them went to the Furnace there, and then the one that I wound up keeping for myself was the Punisher War Journal #1 that I got signed by Carl Potts. Now has him
nice.
and Jim, and I had an amazing experience meeting him again, and I brought my sketches. If you go to my Instagram, it's the first pinned post. You'll see my picture with him and these sketches.
So sick. That Wolverine, dude.
I know. And I pulled it out and he was like, man, I should have kept this one. And I thought that was a sweet thing to say. And I just wanted to be like, because I thought they were kind of memorable, right? Like the doubleheader, he never does, right? And then the other one with the kind of battle damage, he doesn't usually do either. And so I was just like, hey, I just want to put a face to the name. You know, I got these done at the mail-in event last year, and he was very cool.
That Wolverine's sick, dude.
Yeah.
But then the signature you got for me, I just wanted to show that again.
The Jordan card.
Yeah, that was so sick. I got this card gifted to me a while ago. For those of you who know, I'm a huge basketball Jordan fan. And when I found out that Jim Lee did this card, I really want one. And someone gave it to me, and I was like, sick. Now I need to get it signed by him. And again, Sammy, you offered, and I was like, hell yeah, dude. Here's the money. Thank you so much. It's like, a combination of the comic book world and the sports world that I actually cared about at one point.
And speaking of cards, I want to show this because friend Eric got this Jim Lee commission, and sometimes he will make prints of his actual art. And this time he took the original trading card and he had the original colorist color his real Jim Lee commission and get it printed on these cards. And he handed them out to friends and stuff. And I thought that was such a cool idea.
That is wild.
Yeah. And I swear that he said it's the original colorist from the cards that he had to.
Yeah, man, it came in the mail. Sam's package came in, so bam.
Nice.
Yeah, but very, very, very cool.
What a great concept. After the show, what you guys end up doing most of the nights?
I masturbated furiously as soon as you guys all left, and I sewed the bedding to the curtains, and no, really, I just I was like, oh, I see these motherfuckers leaving all this shit out in the kitchen. You want me to guarantee your cleaning deposit? I see how it is. All right, fine.
I'm just in everywhere,
motherfuckers. No. But no, man, I came back, I recovered for a couple days. I got the con crud a little bit, and then I fucking just went to work. Got to pay that rent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've just been I took today and Tuesday off this week, but mostly I've been working a lot. Just trying
to for the next one.
Not even, man. Just like I knew, it's like, okay, I'm gonna pay all of my first half of April bills early, so I can just go all in at the con and not worry about like how much I have left in my account or whatever. But I knew as soon as I got back, it's like, okay, time to get that rent money. Let's get back to it. So I gave myself a little bit of jet lag time and then just right back at it. So, I got some things to pay off from this show that'll be well worth the time put into that. And one thing that I could tell you guys, if you're budgeting for a trip and they have like these Joe Quesada, Jim Lee, Snyder Capullo special experiences with comic people, you can buy those on the website, and they have like payment plans on there. And so I bought a couple of mine like the Jim Lee and the Capullo on the payment plan things, and you can set like how long the terms are, how whatever, how much you pay each month and all that kind of thing. So if you are budgeting for a trip and it's like, oh man, I really need to make this person a priority, but I don't want to miss out, do check the websites for those special experiences, because they treat them like the celebrity photo ops, in which they have more like pricing or payment options. So this is the first time I've tried that, and it's cool because it's not like a credit card where it just racks up some, set balance. It's like, oh, if you're getting Jim Lee, it costs $200 for that package, and you choose whatever your monthly payments are, and then you're paying on that thing. You're not paying some like amorphous blob amount of debt. It's like, I'm paying every month on Jim Lee, and when that's done, then it's done. And I'm paying every month on Capullo, and when that's done, it's done.
Nice.
And so it's an easier way, I think, to keep track of what you're going into debt for, if that's the way that you're playing it.
Yeah, and it's also a good way to spread it out instead of having to like pay everything up front.
Yeah, I mean, and most of these commissions that I showed, I paid for before the con.
Nice.
I would reach out to artists and be like, hey, I'm interested in this, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, that sounds fine, and we talk about pricing. I'm like, all right, cool. And then once I got to that next milestone in my savings, I would hit them up again and be like, oh, hey, I've got that $400 or whatever. Can I just pay you in advance? And for the most part, everyone's like, yeah, totally. And so I think Dawn was the only one who doesn't accept payment until like delivery of the finished art. But everybody else, I tried to knock them out ahead of time. So again, at the con, it's like, okay, all I have to worry about is like food money,
Yeah.
or like digging through the crates to find some blanks, or whatever. And so when you're trying to cover that much ground, it was easier for me to budget it that way. So
Nice.
For me, I had to quickly turn around and get ready for Planet Comic-Con, which is
Yeah.
oh god.
and the difference
That show was nuts.
That wasn't a flight, that was a drive. So that was a 7 and I want to say 7 and 7.5 roughly.
Oh my god.
Hour drive there. And so we drove there Thursday, left Thursday morning and got there Thursday afternoon and did a whatnot from the hotel.
Wow.
Which that was fun. And then it was a trip because the goal was to get some doubles, some double six, some stuff that was, complimentary, so to speak. So the goal was to get like the Frank Miller and then the Claremont. Claremont was going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
And then you had
Paul Dini.
And then you had Paul Dini at the Paul Dini, and then they had the Alex Ross joint.
Yeah.
Dude, that one is so cool.
Yeah, man. And then the Lobo just came out with Scotty Young. So we had the Keon guy from Korea. He did the Lobo cover that's blowing up. And then Lee Bermejo did the other Lobo cover, the foil and the cover B. So I had those signed at Mega, and then I brought those over to Planet and had Scotty Young sign those.
Oh,
and
nice.
so and then I was doing the double ups. I was looking at who was at Mega, and then who was going to also be at Planet that I can get an extra sig on a book. And so I was actually planning Mega and Planet at the same time to kind of have that kind of flow.
That's
and
cool.
So it was crazy, once I got back home after MegaCon, because it was like, okay, one, I had to, I had to unload and then reload. And then it was crazy. And then I was driving, had to get the rental car and, all of that stuff. But after Mega, it was, back into it. And so now for me, today, as we speak right now, is my recovery process.
Yeah. That's hardcore, man. I literally unpacked my suitcase yesterday and I
Oh
think
damn.
we got back like a week and a half ago. So
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much
Yeah.
been back at it.
Yeah. When we got back, I took Monday. I think I just like dropped my shit off. No, crap. I got back and went to the comic shop. Like I got home, went to the comic shop, dropped stuff off, hung out there for a bit, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy myself a pizza, hang out at home, watch, mindless television because I had to work on Tuesday, and ever since last Tuesday, I've just been just working and recovering. My lower back was killing me. I was
Yeah,
like, oh, standing on that floor all day, that's not.
fuck that. Yeah,
Yeah. So I was like, taking in my leave and just resting. I wasn't doing anything the last week and a half. I've been just taking it easy. But now, I was looking at last weekend,
damn it.
all the fun shows, WonderCon, Lex, Kansas. What was the other one? C2E2.
Yeah, dude, it's
Like,
crazy how many happen
what?
in
So
a
I
row.
was like having FOMO, but I was just happy to lay on my couch too.
Oh yeah,
So I was like, that's great and all, but right now it's where it's at. And I just been resting for a bit. My next show is gonna be Philly. So I got like a month and I got 8 weeks, 2 months.
that's scary how soon that's coming up. I was like, oh yeah, I think I'll go out again maybe Memorial Day or maybe June or something, and then it's like, oh, we're in the
Boom.
first week of April. Jesus.
Yeah, just like that.
You going to Philly too, Sam?
No, I might go to Denver. It's the same day.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. But
Uh,
I totally forgot about this. First thing I did when I got back was I went to my LCS Books with Pictures because they had Greg Rucka signing at their
snap.
store
That's awesome.
while I was out of town. And so
Oh,
I had left that he was going to sign the new Batwoman that he was launching. And so I got that. And I tracked down a copy of Gotham Central #1 that was also for a friend secretly because he had gifted me the Omni, and I was like, oh well, shit, I'll track down this #1, bring it to the signing, right? Send that to him. So I did that. Shout out to Man Bear. And then the day before I left town, I tried one last Hail Mary. I've been looking everywhere, even eBay and everything, to find Greg Rucka's Punisher #1 so I can have that signed too. Couldn't find it anywhere. The only thing you can get is people selling like a whole lot of issues, and it's like, I'm not going to drop $150 on a whole fucking set, something. And so I'd given up on it. I was like, wait, there's that one dusty ass shop in town that always has shit in the back. They never have it, and if you go in and ask, like, that's where I got my old war journals and shit. I'm just like, hey, do you have anything from fucking, Greg Rucka 2018, Punisher, whatever. And sure enough, he walks out with a clean copy of the first issue. She's like, yeah, here you go, cover price. I'm like,
nice.
Fuck yeah. And so in addition to all these that I showed earlier with Palmiotti and Bradstreet, I came home to a Rucka signed Punisher #1 from his too, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude. My Frank Castle collection is growing quickly.
That's one book I'm probably going to chase this year. I want to get the first appearance of Punisher, and I need to get into reading. I have a couple of the trades, so that's something I'm going to get into.
Yeah, dude, I cannot recommend higher than Punisher Max that Garth Ennis did. It's incredible.
My #1 Marvel. That's the only Marvel that I recommend is Punisher Max.
It's so fucking good. And I want to go to Baltimore if I can because Garth Ennis is booked again. So
oh no way.
I know. It's like I keep wanting to go to these fucking what's the next it's in the opposite corner of the country from where I fucking live.
That's what it always is.
So we'll see if I can make it to fucking Maryland in September, but
Sam, you just reminded me. Okay, so I totally forgot. So the day I get back, right? The day I fly in, because I fly back, I came back home Sunday. You guys came back home Monday, right?
Yeah.
So I'm back home. I get a text. My homies that work at my LCS hit me up, was like, yo, Tom Wynn from the Red Hood creative team, he's at some hotel at some small little rinky dink little con, quote unquote.
Huh.
And I'm like, what? And so I was like, yo, he was like, what books should I bring? And so I told him what to bring. And he was like, you want to roll? I was like, dude, my wife would kill me if I, I leave right now. So I was like, no, dude, but why don't you just pull up over here? I just have a couple things. I was like, Tom's my homie. I gave him some Six Layer sketch cards.
Cool.
And he did a couple things for me. But this is what he did for me, though. So while I was, here, he did this Red Hood remark for me.
Snap.
Yeah, on this one. And then I saw I saw Matt Wagner and OAX. And then when I got back, Tom Wynn was out here. And then Doug Mankey, I just saw at Planets. All this just got done in the last few weeks.
That's really good.
Yeah, so this, you say you came back home to something. I came back home and I got these. And then what did he do here? A couple. Oh, yeah, he did Spider-Man, my only Spider-Man, 6-layer sketch card here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That looks like a McFarlane era Spidey. That's cool.
Yeah. I think that's what he was going for, man. And so, I thought that was cool. And then the last one here. Then he did a movie. He did.
Damn.
This is all the day that I came back.
That's great.
I was like, dude, I'm just flowing with just comic book coolness.
Yeah.
Well, and this is something that. So my favorite part of the whole con was actually not one of these like famous people. I had a lot of great interactions, and I'm very grateful for them. But it's that night that we went to dinner. It was, I think, Friday night. It was myself and Mike and Eric and Josue, and we sat there for hours at this pizza place.
Good pizza.
Because I think we were there for at least an hour before you got there.
Yeah.
And we just hung out all night, and it was great, man. It was just like
those are the best moments.
This whole experience just was so community heavy to kind of come full circle, like we're getting home and our LCSs are helping us out. We're helping out each other while we're out here. Like just the whole thing felt really, really positive and like re-inspiring to me as someone who's I've been really in love with reading again as we've slowed down podcasting, to be honest, and I'm not having to do it as like homework. I've really, really been loving just reading for fun again, but then also to go to this con and have a different type of experience again with so many friends and actual making personal connections that aren't just like 5 minutes on the con floor. That all just went really far with me, and being able to like stay with you guys and just hang out a bit, it made the whole thing feel a lot different and a lot cooler. So just
you got the bug
grateful.
after that.
Grateful
after
for
that
the
experience.
No, I literally, somebody got me sick. Yeah, I got the bug. It's true.
My bad. No, that's like the same feeling. I chase that feeling every time I go to a con. That's why, like, afterwards, it's like, oh wait, there's something to do. I want to hang out with more people in this community. Like, I just like milk it for as much as possible, and then I come out.
I thought you went like this when you said milk it. That's
I was doing the Trump dance.
Oh, okay. I thought he was Quan under the table.
Now it's the Quan dance. Damn.
I'm gonna get banned. I was just cut that.
But I'll say that for a blooper. But that moment of just like hanging out and like you're typically like I don't go out much really when I'm home. So when we go out and everyone's just chatting about the day they had or like what they're trying to do for the day or like, just catching up before you know it, it's an hour and 30 minutes, 3 hours pass. I'm like, oh shit, they're about to close.
Yeah.
I need to get out of here, and it's like that constant feeling just feels great because we know we're in the moment, right? That's the moment and it just feels good. And like you're surrounded by the right people. And what a great thing to actually experience. In a different community that I'm not used to growing up in or didn't know anything about much, till I got older. And also
because it's such a goal-oriented experience for me that it's like, okay, I gotta see this person and this time and this time, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
and you have this whole thing planned out of what you're gonna try to pull off, and the amount of
Then
time and the
just
amount of
relax
money you
afterwards.
have, all that, right? But then to have this whole other side that's like, oh wow, what a breath of fresh air. Like I actually got to have like a human connection. I got to slow down for a few hours, it just it goes a long way.
Yeah, and then you never know when you're hanging out, who you meet, right? Because everyone's in the town for different things, and
Yeah.
that's how I network so much because I love the energy. And it's that energy as well that fits along with it. And I remember the first time I felt that, Sam, was my first MegaCon, and that's when I
Yeah.
was like, I'm addicted. I need more of this crap immediately. And
Yeah, literally the first line I was in at the first MegaCon, my first MegaCon, was the Fabok line, where I see not only both of you for the first time ever in person, but also Eric and Mark and God knows who else. Before the show is even opened proper, we just all gravitated toward the same fucking line, and it was like, oh, weird. It's like,
oh, we all finally met.
like we got this state, that state, this state, that state, this country, like all mixed.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, that was my first day one, hour one experience at MegaCon. So yeah, it's definitely unique in that,
Yeah.
we all flock to it.
And we're gonna continue that routine, I hope, because
Yeah, man.
MegaCon's where it's at, man. MegaCon's so much fun. I'll figure out the staying situation next year, closer to the con. I hope.
Yeah, let's fucking twist somebody's arm at that Hyatt. get that Sky Bridge walkover.
About to like date a manager for the squad. So
Yeah.
we get like
Let's do it. Well, let's trade him. Let's trade him for fucking cigs. Like, hey, you guys, you guys want a Sean Murphy sketch? Huh?
I'm gonna go on LinkedIn and see like women who are managers at the Hilton or whatever, and use LinkedIn as a dating site just to get a discount.
Oh my god.
No, again, a bunch of great memories, great time. MegaCon is definitely a yearly con for as long as I can possibly do it. And I hope it's the same for you guys. Just listening to our conversations and the experiences of what we went through this time around and previous ones. It's like so much positivity. It's just a great time. Do standing in line suck? Yes, but we know what we signed up for when you get there.
Yeah.
A lot of people go to these cons for the first time, and guess what? You're gonna be complaining about the same shit everyone thought about once. You know what it is, and if you show up with not knowing that, you're gonna find out the hard way. A lot of lines, standing on your feet, find good souls, walk around with that retractable chair thingy that everyone has
Yeah.
to sit down once in a while. You want to rest your legs, bring snacks, hydrate. Don't forget to snack and hydrate. And if you do the proper things that we discussed, besides all the small things, you can survive a 4-day experience, because 4 days is tough and it's a marathon. You can't do everything you want Thursday. Friday, you're like, oh, people Friday I went out for Universal because they shut down the park for people who go to MegaCon.
Yeah.
But you can knock out 7 to 10 rides, which is amazing for anyone to do in one day, full with fast pass and everything. Friday, I was like, I don't want to hang out too late because it's tomorrow, Saturday, and we already
Yeah.
had 2 days.
Yeah, having the extra days wild. Like,
Yeah,
I
and
think
then-
the only reason I survived is because I dropped off all of my blanks and got like a lot of my initial things set up on Thursday. And I knew that Sunday was going to be crazy. I was going to have a bunch of shit to do. And so I intentionally slept in on Friday and Saturday. And I came in and I made sure that I had time to like, okay, I don't have as many things to do on these days. So I'm going to pace my body so that I'm not like fucking dead by the time I get to Jim Lee at the end of goddamn Sunday,
Yeah.
So,
Definitely got to pace yourself with these things. And
yeah.
it's all these, can't go out every night. Don't do what I do. because I don't know how I do what I do. Mike, you too. You're right there. We stayed up late every night.
Yeah, man.
Woke up early. That's not easy. I don't recommend it. It's my
Get your sleep.
Hold on, get your rest. This is my day one. That's when I got my sleep, guys. Day one. I landed there Wednesday, and I was just like, I was trying to stay up for Sam. Nope. And then Thursday, you don't have to wake up early because it's a later thing. So I got all my rest in the beginning, and then after that, clearly.
Yeah.
But don't try to do too much. I do that because I'm just excited. I'm a little kid at a theme park for the most part. But I don't recommend it because my back paid for it when I got back, and I was just exhausted. But my final message is,
Fuck y'all. Oh no, sorry.
Yeah, no, don't make the line so long. No,
okay.
no. Look, I'm looking forward to next year MegaCon. It's going to be May 20th to the 23rd. Different, a lot warmer. We've been used to February.
It's going to be in May.
Yeah, May 20th to the 23rd. So
a
little different, temperature wise, but I'm looking forward to it. Again, it's been nothing but an amazing con since I've been there for the last 5 years. Looking forward to what the guest list is going to look like, and I'm going to look forward to the next experiences. Besides that, guys, thank you for jumping on. Thank you for coming out at MegaCon and hanging out. That shit was dope as hell. Besides that, see you guys at MegaCon, I hope, next year.
Yes, sir.
Man, maybe somewhere in between.
You never know.